This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world. Our next guest on Femme House Radio is Made in Paris. She is a DJ, label curator, and producer who makes beautiful melodic techno. This woman has sold out a 2,000 capacity headline show in Melbourne, toured in the US, India, and Europe, and played with Stefan Bodson, Anna, and Charlotte DeWitt, to name a few. Her tracks have been supported by the likes of Nicole Mudaber, Danny Taglia, Tiga, Macioplex, and more. She released her debut album, Exordium, this year, and will also be releasing on Lane 8's label later in the year, and has already sold out her July 2021 tour. Congratulations. Hello, and welcome to Femme House Radio.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Big intro.
So tell us your origins. What's
I
that?
said big intro. I'm flattered.
Pretty impressive, queen. So tell us your origin story. What led you to this path of electronic producer?
Well, I've always had like a connection with music. I didn't come from a musical background per se, but yeah, I just kind of was ciphering through different genres and stuff growing up, and as soon as I came across like dance music, I was like immediately hooked, and yeah, it became an obsession for me, like in my young teens. And then once I started learning about DJing and stuff like that, I was just like, oh, I want to learn that. And yeah, eventually I got into DJing, and shortly after that I was like, I don't want to just DJ, I want to be able to make the music to play. So yeah, I kind of
Classic.
Just went straight into it, and I was just obsessed. I was so obsessed. And
Who's one of the first artists that inspired you, that made you like, I have to do this?
I think like people like the Presets, Dead Mouse,
Nice.
yeah, like all those like
Huge.
earlier sort of like Tiga, Digitalism, like yeah, all the electro sort of stuff, and but
Cool, yeah.
yeah, the electro stuff, and then it was like kind of like Boys Noise and all those type of people that started influencing me a lot and going into that more techno realm. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of how it just came about, and I sort of self-taught myself everything, just forums and YouTubes and stuff like that, and yeah, it's been a wild journey.
So
Yeah.
rad. I completely get that. The wildest journey I've ever been on. So I hear you. It's so cool. Literally had written like a little talking point with you. It was like your album Exordium feels like so patient and so beautiful. And my first thought was, I wonder if she, you know, I as I understand it, you wrote this during the pandemic or part of it during the pandemic?
Yeah. It was like coming into the pandemic, and then I kind of finished it while it was in there. Yeah.
Because I as I was listening to it, I thought like, I wonder if the pandemic affected her way of writing, because like it's so I feel like you can listen to it obviously on the dance floor. I'm sure it sounds insane on huge speakers, but also I would listen to this walking down the street. I would listen to this, you know, driving in my car. I would listen to this in ways outside the dance floor. And so I was wondering if maybe the pandemic time had affected you in that way. And you know, I think it's so beautiful and so patient, and
Yeah.
I don't know, that's how I was affected by, you know, in my writing with the pandemic. So I felt that from you.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because when I came to do this project, it was kind of like I already had gotten this mindset of creating, and it started before the pandemic. Like I started creating it. I think it was when I did my first like stint over in Europe and the UK, and I was traveling, and I was already in this mindset of like, I want to get really creative with a project and not just like create like club bangers and just create this whole like story and like in little stints and put it all into like one release. I just felt like,
cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it sort of came together, and then I guess it kind of prepped me for the pandemic. It's just kind of weird.
Totally.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of was already getting
like,
that.
It's like one long journey, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, in some of the stuff's a bit like left to center that I would normally like do and stuff like that. And I wasn't just focusing on like it being heard in clubs. I was like, what can this like, I want a listener to like be able to just put this on and do what they want at home, or just going for a drive and just playing it through. And that was kind of the mindset that I had about the concept for Extordium. So, yeah.
Dude, I felt that from you.
Yeah,
Hardcore.
well, I'm so
you
glad
nailed
that
it.
you did.
Your intention was definitely, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I absolutely, I was like, wait, I went on a walk the other day and I listened to it, and it made me feel so good, and it made me feel like I was moving through a bunch of different things and sounds and experiences, and yeah, I'm super congrats to you.
I'm so glad that you
very
felt
impressed.
that. Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, so that's so funny. I was like, I wonder if she went through the same thing that, during the pandemic, because I actually, it was so wild. I flew down to LA and did an Insomniac with this Femme House takeover on the Insomniac channel.
Yes.
And we did we filmed like full lights and visuals, and we filmed it in a club, like one of the bigger clubs in LA. And there was nobody there, obviously. Like, it was just the camera crew. Everybody's, tested or vaccinated, and the artists. And when I stepped into the booth to play my set, I hadn't been in a booth in a year. And I started, the first song I started with, I actually, hearing it in the big speakers, in the monitors, I just, burst into tears.
Aww.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And there weren't even people there, but just, not having heard music, on that. And I still played, more, thoughtful, melodic, sort of more beautiful stuff, for lack of a better word, just because still there's no dance floor. But, just hearing it in the big speakers was just because it was phenomenal. Have you been you guys have been playing shows, though, in Australia, haven't you?
Yeah, I've played 3 shows since coming back this year. It's been slow, but it's it was incredible, to get back.
Was it?
Oh, so good. I played an amazing show down in Melbourne. It was about a month and a half, and it was just phenomenal. Having that energy around, and it was just you could just feel it with the people there, how much they would just missed those times, and how grateful they were to be there and getting to dance and not being restricted and being told what to do, just to release. Oh, so good. It made me play I feel like it made me play so much better too. I was just there was one stage, and I never do this in my sets, I was actually jumping. I was jumping to the music, and I was like, whoa. I was like, Paris, settle down. Settle down.
Wait, I love this. That's funny because I always kind of jump and go crazy, but I played a show recently in Dallas, and it was my first time being in a club with people, and I ran outside I ran onto the dance floor at one point, started hugging people, which was I should have not probably done that, but I just felt so overwhelmed. And the people, and that you could feel the gratitude of people to I get to stand amongst other people, experience something greater than myself again, be part of this community. You could feel the gratitude. I played the best set of my life.
Yeah, you just always play so much better when the vibe is there, when you're bouncing off people's energy.
Oh, it's crazy how important that is.
Yeah.
And I kept thanking them, this show is this energy here. I was so overwhelmed. My boyfriend was there, and he was maybe tone it down. I kept getting on the mic and just thanking everybody. It was really awesome.
But that's why it's so crucial.
I saw you.
That's why it's so crucial
Totally.
for us making dance music, and you feel I felt that a lot with music, even listening and trying to find music and stuff. I could feel the lack of I don't know, energy in a lot of music. It definitely changed a lot of people's stuff.
Totally. It has really, I mean, it's really, obviously I always knew the importance of the dance floor, but it really has, I don't know, brought that to life to me in a whole new way. Like, this is, like, when I first started, right when the pandemic hit, my manager was like, you have to start live streaming. And I was like, wait, what? And, like, standing in front of a web camera and DJing has truly, I mean, it pushed me in some ways because it's like, okay, I have to entertain myself. Like, I started adding, like, a sampler and a keyboard and, like, doing it differently, which was an experience, but it just really doubled down to me how, like, this is, I am nothing without the people there.
100%.
And that's a cool thing to, like, really learn, you know?
Yeah.
I feel grateful for that.
Yeah.
I saw you on the Will Clark podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I adore him. And then I saw that you did a remix for him and MK's track, Your Church or My Church or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And yes, remarkable remix. I love that. And I'm a huge fan of Will Clark. I just think he's the best. I love that you guys chatted and worked together. He's such an
incredible human. Like, we just kicked it off from the moment that we hung out for the first time, and he's just got this great energy. That? I think it was his, like, first tour in Australia, and we were both playing at the same club at Chinese Laundry, and I don't know how we teed it up, but we just ended up getting, like, dinner while he was around, and yeah, he's just the coolest dude. So easy to get along with, so easy to chat with.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
He's a ledge. Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to talk to him for like half an hour, and I ended up talking to him for like 2, and then I was like, I have to go, but you're amazing.
Yeah, I was the same. He's like, yeah, we'll just be like 40 minutes, and then it's like 2 hours later, I was like, oh, yep, I missed this appointment. Oh, well, it was worth it.
That's exactly it. Totally. I felt like somebody actually commented when I posted, like, I did this in this interview with somebody commented on my Instagram. You sounded like a squirrel on cocaine. You were like so excited. You like just like I was like, geez, maybe I always sound like my mom. My mom saw that. My mom was like, that's a great description of you. And I was like, yeah, I agree. Squirrel on cocaine.
Thanks, Mom.
I'll take it. Yeah, thanks so much. So I saw that you got to do a tour in India. What was that like? And how did that happen?
Yeah, that was crazy. How did that happen? Well, I don't know. My manager, she's amazing.
You being a badass, I guess.
Yeah, and for some reason I've got like a bit of a little following there. It's crazy. We just started seeing like us like looking at back end of streams and stuff, and there was like heaps of people like just listening from India, and then so we started having chats with agents and like promoters and stuff over there, and they were getting around the music and reaching out, so we just made it happen. It was pretty cool, like, and they know how to party. They are just like so much energy.
Really? The dance floors?
Yes, they were like, I think I closed like 2 nights, and people just didn't want the music to stop. They were all like chanting like one more song, you know, that original thing.
Shut up! Are you kidding me?
The lights are all on in the clubs, and they're just still dancing. It's like, it's a cool energy.
I mean, is there a better feeling than that? That is, I feel like that's the goal of every set, is to, like, lights are coming on, people still want to be there. They're like, you did your job.
They're like, we're not leaving till you play another track. Like, it's like, okay. Yeah.
Like, I actually also have to sleep.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so awesome. How many shows did you do out there?
I think I did 3 or 4. Can't remember now.
God, that is... I mean, I've never been to Australia or India, so I'm like in awe. That's so rad.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Good for you.
It's a great experience.
Damn, that's
I miss
so cool.
traveling.
Okay, so don't you though? Don't. The U.S. is like opening up kind of like extremely quick. It seems like it went from. It's so funny. I spent like a year. This is so classic me though. I spent a year complaining, you know, like, I miss the dance floor, I miss touring, you know, and now it's like life is coming at me fast, and I'm like, wait, shoot, did I like, use this opportunity? Did I use the like, did I take care of myself enough? Did I rest enough? Like, did I do all the things I wanted to do that I never had the opportunity? Did I hang out with friends enough? Did I, of course, I'm like second guessing how I experienced the whole thing. But it feels like I just spent the last like hour trying to figure out travel and coordinating whatever. And it's like, it's kind of almost full on here. It's really intense. It feels like a culture shock, and I'm trying to like remind myself like, okay, remember gratitude, like you wanted this so bad, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scared myself. Yeah, it's
really
it's like, because we're like creatures of habit, and we've just gotten so used to like this, and then now this is getting all shaken up again, and we're about to head back into going around, not much sleep, airport food.
Just like also like sometimes having to try to sleep at an airport, or like going straight from the club to the airport, which truly is but happens,
the devil's work.
I'm just it really is. I actually saw, I don't know who posted it, but I saw some DJ post like screenshot, like where you set your alarm on your iPhone. He like screenshotted like, this is the life of a DJ, and they were like 3:30, 4:45, 5:30, like all the most insane hours that he had set his alarm for recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this is what I don't miss, and it's coming quick.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to focus on
the positive,
whatever, all the other stuff. The positive and all of it. So but I feel you. So what was your progression to starting your record label, Upon Access?
I started that a few years ago. I just wanted to really create a platform that I was able to just release my music whenever I wanted to. I didn't want to be like limited to seeking for like where my music was going to be like fit in and stuff like that. So that was kind of the concept behind it, and then also wanting to push other like-minded artists doing like cool things as well, like, and not just make it about myself. So it was kind of a little side passion project for me, and it's still kicking, and I think got some cool stuff that's gonna come out soon with that as well.
I love that. I mean, I completely understand the full getting to release your music when you want and how you want is so important and empowering, and also having a platform to do the same for the artists you love. I mean, that's why Femme House exists, and it's definitely gives me in my job the deepest joy to create a platform and to be able to platform other people that I care about. It's really what kind of pushes me in the studio.
It gives you,
so I
like,
respect that
a
a lot.
lot more passion for your own projects as well. Like it's just really nice to get behind other artists.
And paying it forward, and just like building a community and understanding what they're going through, and trying to do whatever you can to help that process, because it's a wild one. It gives me the most joy in my job. I totally get that.
Yeah.
So what was it like to have Rufus Du Sol close their 2019 Coachella Do-Lab set with your remix of their track Another Life? I saw a video of that, and truly I got goosebumps, and I was like, what would it be like to be you?
That was crazy. A friend of mine was there, and he caught it on film and sent it to me at some random hour, and I was just watching it, and I was like, what? He's like, it's your track. They're playing your track. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I was like, oh yeah. I was blown away. I was like so happy that the boys got around that, and also just the fact that they allowed me to do my own take on that track, and it's also really crazy because it was my favorite track off that album. And then when they asked me to do that specific track, I was like, no effing way. Like, I was like, you're kidding me. Like, my favorite track on your album, and you're asking me to remix it? It was like made to be, obviously. No. And it came together really well, and I was just stoked that they played that at Coachella. Like, really cool. Really cool.
I mean, one of the coolest bands playing one of the coolest sets at Coachella, playing your track to close it. I mean, that's the ultimate dream for a producer DJ. That's huge congrats. I just wanted to make sure that we highlighted that because I'm very impressed with that.
Oh, thank you.
So what do we have to look forward to from you? Any exciting plans in the coming year?
Second half of the year is looking pretty great. We've got a bunch of remixes. Got one dropping in the next 24 hours actually. So that will be out on One Love, and it's
exciting.
Yeah, a remix by Chloe Tater and Deji G. I think that's his name. Yeah, I can't remember now. But yeah, it's a cool remix. So that's coming out. And I've got an EP coming out. That will be on Lane 8's label.
Which is so cool. I mean, the coolest.
Yeah, so stoked that he's gotten behind my music and being very supportive and stuff like that. So, yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, you have the biggest heavy hitters behind your music. You have some real heat in the game. I'm very impressed with what you've built.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been wild, and yeah, just when I get those supports from people that I really look up to, I'm so grateful. I'm just and it just reminds me all the hard work that you put in, it can pay off, and just being patient and with yourself and your music is so important in this game. I've been in it for a while, but it's just it's been a nice little climb of a journey, which has been great, and I think it's just going to keep going.
You've laid a ton of good bricks, and you built a wall. That is very cool. I know what a journey that is. So on that note, thank you so much for being a guest on Femme House Radio.
Oh,
thank you for your words of wisdom, and thank you for your art. It's so important in the world. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.